I had a very great comment the other day. A very good movement of consciousness, where everything was quite mundane and negative, and you could sense that kind of negative energy and that kind of hopelessness, you see. And this one says, when are we going to start living? When are we going to stop being so downright lazy and expecting everything to happen for us, you see? Why don't we just get off our ass and do something about this, you see? When are we going to start living? And then it is followed by the Titanic at the bottom of the ocean has more life than us. And then the conversation went on debating about life and how we could improve it and whatever. You know the story after that, you see. But I want to raise the point. What went wrong with the statement, you see, before the story came in to go? This debate. You see, there is a preference, you see. An individual had a preference. He, it was a he, decided that he had enough of this negativity and that we should up the tempo. Up the tempo. Get out of this lull, you see, this negative state. And it had an effect on those who were maybe quite happy being mundane. But it's two meanings. Everything has two meanings. Everything has two meanings and it turns as the same. Everything starts as one, breaks away, and then returns to one. But the human weakness is when they break away, we don't return it to one, you see. We go on separate paths. When are we going to start living? His opinion on his life. And then what are we going to do about it? How can we improve our lives, you see? We and our. Already he has created some sort of movement that may be natural for him, but very unnatural for the others, you see. This is the very, very point where you can go one way or the other, you see. All your life you've been said, let's share things. Let's share stories. Let's share feelings. Even the counselors, the psychologists say, share with me, Share with me. Give me some information. Give me something so that I can work out your life. It's the only way, It's the only way we know how to solve things for each other. And we think if we solve things for each other, we're going to help ourselves. How did it go two ways, you see? His way was, when are we going to do something positive with our life? When are we going to do an up the tempo? And the others, mundane. They want to remain mundane. You see, now the debate has taken on, the story has taken on, and people can now start comparing My miserable story, says this one. Well, what do you mean? I think that's how it went. I remember how it went. Was one said, "Yeah, it's all right for you to say that. You don't have to pay these bills and this and do that, you see." So now there's slight conflict with a positive statement, you see. Let's do something with our lives. Let's be positive. All your life you've been told to share things, you say. Try and do it for everyone else. Don't leave yourself out of the equation, you see. If he had said to himself, very quietly, when am I going to do something with my life? There would have been no harm, you see. I need to go outside for a moment for a cigarette, you see. I'm going to do something for my life, you see. And then you go out and you think, yes, what a beautiful sunny day. I'm not going to judge what happened in there. I'm just going to enjoy this day, you see. What am I going to do? Well, I've done something. I've got out of that negative energy zone. I've done something with my life. I have made effort to make a movement. But you don't do anything, you see. The statement was enough to yourself. When am I going to do something with my life? And if you sit, something will come and make you move off of the chair, go out for a cigarette and enjoy the sun and the whatever is happening outside in the outside world. So it's everything that you've been told not to do, you see. Stop involving others. It's your thought. You have to overcome this thought. When are we? You see, politicians are great, you see. They achieve absolutely nothing. They are brilliant at what they do. They don't make decisions. They are the ones who sit at the table with the whole of the nation round. And they throw something in the middle of the table and say, this is two things we're going to do. We're going to do this or we're going to do that. Yeah? And everyone starts looking at the middle of the table and the politician walks away. Feed the meat to the lions. Are they doing anything wrong? They're not saying follow this way, and they're not saying follow that way. But they are keeping all round the table from being free. Because the focus is on the middle of the table, you see. So within their holy right, they are not following good or bad. But they are forcing everyone else to follow good or bad. Which is a bit unfair. That is why when we have bureaucracy and politicians and systems and words that mean absolutely nothing to the individual poor man, poor woman, rich man, rich woman, they mean nothing, you see. Keep them involved round a table while we go and meditate and find our true self, you see, which we've already found, you know. But we don't want to share it. We want them to learn some more, you see. So they are not doing anything bad. They're saying keep gorging on what we give you in the table until you're sick. Keep gorging until you're sick, until you walk away from the table, you see. You walk away from politics. You walk away from everything that is not really about you. The man's comment, when are we going to do something with our lives, has nothing to do with anyone else. Very, very, very subtle things. I I want to do something with my life. It's fear, you see, driven by fear. We don't want to make a break from the table. We might miss something. God might appear on the table. One day the politicians might say God or devil. And then we'll be able to all grab God and go and be happily ever after and live in heaven and paradise. No one wants to walk away from the table. No one wants to say, what am I going to do with my life? And walk out the door and never return. And to say the Titanic is dead at the bottom of the ocean, and we are behaving like the Titanic, a great ship that is actual real, in its sense that it's, what is it so disgusting about a dead ship lying at the bottom of the ocean? What is so that you cannot accept the bottom of the ocean and this death? Some people like living a life of misery. Some people have more learning to come. Stop interfering, you see. Stop sharing what you want. Stop being the politician and saying, we. Don't put anything in the middle of the table. Whatever comes into your head, walk away with it and leave them free. These words are nothing that you, the mind, can understand or really like. You want to take sides, you see. You want to say, I want to hear good things today. I want to hear bad things today. I don't want to hear mediocre things with no answer. I don't want to make decisions. I want everyone else to do it for me. I want a story. I want an argument. I don't want this man to go, I'm round the table. I don't want him to go out and take his thoughts and leave me. I want to pull him back, you see. We all want to be together. We all want to go down in the Titanic together, you see. We don't want to say, you all go on the boats and I'll remain. Or I'll go on the boats and you remain. We all have to be kind. But kindness is to keep everything to yourself. Kindness is to allow people's lives to flow like your life, like you want your life to flow. I'm going to be miserable today, so you're going to be miserable. I'm going to be happy today, so we're all going to be happy today. Meanwhile, the politician, they're still fighting. They're still around the table. I can do whatever I like. I know they're safe. I know they're in a room. I know I can't lose control of them. I know I have power over them. I am a politician. I am not doing anything wrong. I'm not saying follow this path. I'm not saying follow that path. They may say follow our path and don't follow their path to get to the situation where they can be the meditator, you see. The middleman, the Buddha. We blame the politicians every day, but they're very smart, they're very intelligent. We just can't get off our seats and walk away from the table, you see, and keep our own thoughts and do our own seeking in our own little environment and find our own little space to meditate. Because we need the approval of others.